Pay me, pay me, pay me my silver now. Pay me or go to jail. Pay me my silver now.
RoadToRuta.com. It's going to be a short one today. I got lots to do. I'm expanding my garden planter beds, almost doubling the size. So much coming out about our food being not good for us anymore. You're going to have to start feeding yourself, which is really scary because most people, I don't have a green thumb, but the more you practice, the better you get at this stuff. I can grow in California peppers and tomatoes, and I mean, we can grow almost anything out in California. Not year round, but almost near year round. We don't have any snow where we are, so there is no reason that I should give up my health because I couldn't create my own food. And the more I hear about what's going into our food, they are trying to kill us. So keep that in mind. Do what you can to expand your garden. I have posted the latest Jenny Moonstone discussions, War, Disaster, Silver, and Theta. Go check that out. Reading the end of the game. Not the end game, but the end of the game. Really interesting stuff on the private road at Road to Ruta. Oh, by the way, I did post last night one of my original songs that I wrote way back in the day. It's called Maggie Will Make It. If your name's Maggie, or if you know a Maggie, I remember I was on, it wasn't, what was it called? It was the original MySpace. It's like the original Facebook. It was MySpace, and I had posted a bunch of my songs on there, and there was one song I had like 5,000 people listen to. I'm like, what the hell is that? And I look at the comments. They're all Maggie. The song's called Maggie Will Make It. And yeah, I had a whole bunch of the Maggies sign my guitar back in the day. Check it out. Go to, it's on the Road to Ruta channel. There's also the BixWeir.com music channel. I haven't done much with, but I think in the future that will be my focus. Anyway, go check it out. It's really fun. And yeah, comment if you like it, or if you think it's crap. Yeah, comment anyway. Why not? All right. Silver is acting very strange, at least to the commercial shorts. They're short a lot, and they're not going to get out of it. They're not going to get out of it. This is the end game for the banking cabal. It's all coming to a head. You just got to hang on. If you have physical silver in your own possession, you're fine. If you have gold, swap it for silver ASAP. Miles Franklin will do that for you. I think they only charge commissions on one part of that transaction. So think about it, because right now at 80 to 1, what is the gold-silver ratio? It's so ridiculous, so out of hand, and it should be obvious to every single person that is completely out of hand. 82 to 1. It will be, mark my words, it will be 1 to 1 at one point during this chaos crash. You might not see it on the exchanges because the exchanges won't even be around. We're heading into a world where we don't need derivatives determining the price of real assets. And that's the end of the comics is coming. And it's coming very, very, very fast. So here's the problem for the banking cabal. Everybody in silver knows how they play their games now. So they rig the price on the derivative market using computers through a company called EWT LLC, also known as Virtu Financial. Virtu Financial is run by Vinny Viola, Bernie Madoff counterpart back in the day. They took out Bernie, but they did not take out Vinny. You might have recognized the name. Trump had nominated him for the head of the Navy, I think, or Army. He got kicked out of West Point in the cheating scandal in the late 70s. He didn't get kicked out. He was, I think he turned in all his buddies. So he's completely captured by the deep state. So go check out Virtu Financial, Vinny Viola, the cheating scandal at West Point back in the 70s. Really interesting stuff. It all comes around. So they control everybody in silver who needs physical silver, has half a brain, like China, for example, and India, are buying now as it crosses over the 100-day moving average. It used to be only the 200-day moving average, which is this blue line here. So it'd have to get down to $27.30 right now, which is not a long drop from where it is. But what happens, what they're running into, is that the 100-day moving average, which is 29.74, India has started buying when it breaks that moving average. right in here. India bought, in August, they bought 47, 48 million ounces physical and took delivery. Remember that. That's what the banking cabal cannot handle. So they're going to have to keep the price above these moving averages, or everybody and their mother is just going to take the physical silver out the market. That's what you get when you suppress prices and people understand how you are suppressing them. Just keep that in mind. Get your silver into your own possession. I ran for yucks and giggles, and anybody can do this. And please send this to the Silver Institute and Metals Focus. Anybody can find out now. Anybody can find out how much silver is going into solar panels. I asked a question just about the TopCon, because TopCon has gone from almost nothing a few years back to probably 66, 70% of the solar panels that are being installed right now, and TopCon uses more silver. The company that makes the paste and does the innovation for thrifting silver came out and exposed what was going on, was bragging that they got silver down to 80 milligrams per cell for TopCon. This is top of the line stuff. This is maybe 5 or 10%. The rest use a lot more silver. But just running that number, I asked ChatGPT, and you can do this too. By the way, Metals Focus, you can do this. Silver Institute, I know you don't do any calculations, but you can do this if you wanted. Here's my question. How many ounces of silver will be used in TopCon solar panels if there's 80 milligrams per cell, 144 cells per panel, and that's the 182 millimeter TopCon solar panels, and 400 gigawatts of 182 millimeter TopCon solar panels installed in 2024, which is the number. It's going to be 600 gigawatts installed overall. 66% of that is 400 gigawatts. This is very simple math. I mean, it's not simple math because you got to do the calculation, but it's a simple concept to understand. They're going to put in about 2/3 of it will be TopCon. The rest will be either higher or lower, mostly lower PERC modules. So just the TopCon part. I said, determine this for me. And they break it down. Amount of silver per cell, amount of silver per panel, amount of silver per gigawatt, blah, blah, blah. There's all your calculations. Amount of silver per gigawatt comes out to amount of silver for 400 gigawatts, convert to ounces. Final answers. For the 1/3 of what's going in, 325 million ounces of silver will be used in the production of 400 gigawatts of 182 millimeter TopCon solar panels, assuming a 80 milligram of silver per cell. You cannot run from this, Metals Focus. You cannot run from reality. And that's only 2/3. So you add another, 120 million, 125 million for the PERC and the HJT solar panels that are going in as well, and you get to 450 to 500 million ounces of silver will be used in solar panels this year. And I don't give a shit what the Silver Institute says. They lie, they cheat, they steal. Do this calculation for yourself. Go to ChatGPT or whatever program you use for AI, and it spits it out. It's an easy thing to do. Metals Focus, it's easy, and you should use it to check your work. Oh, but Bix, we talked to the experts in the industry. Bullshit. You lie, you cheat, and you steal. And the expert solar panel people, what are they going to say? No, we don't use any silver in our solar panels. No way. They don't want the price to go up. Nobody wants the price to go up of silver. Come on, get real. You want your cell phone to be double the price? You want your flat screen TV to be 10 times the price? No, nobody can let the price of silver go up. The only people who want the price of silver to go up are silver investors. That's the shocking part. You'd think mining companies would, some do. First Majestic does. Yeah, Keith Neumeier knows what he's doing. But the CEO or the chairman of the board of the Silver Institute is the CEO of Hecla. And he came out right before they released their numbers of the ridiculous numbers of 192 or whatever it is million ounces of solar last year and said there's going to be 300. Literally 2 months before in an interview, he said, oh, there's over 300 million ounces used. Wake up, my friends. We're being lied to. Get your physical silver. Get it in your own possession. Go to your local coin shop. If you don't have a local guy, I highly recommend your local guys. And play off them. There's usually 2 or 3 in a decent-sized city. But if you don't have a local guy that you trust, you got to trust these people because they could give you fake silver, absolutely. Any of the bigger bars, you better swap them for smaller denominations, in my opinion. Because once one is found out that it's got molybdenum in it, which is a similar density as silver, then every bar is going to have to be melted down or drilled. The scratch and sniff test does not work on a big bar. That's ridiculous. Come on. You're just scratching the plating off it. Anyway, there you go. There's your answer. Metals Focus. You can go home. You don't need to work anymore on silver. It's already done for you. AI did it for you. We no longer need companies like the Silver Institute and Metals Focus. So, of the 2/3 of the solar panels, 325 million ounces, the Silver Institute is almost half when you get to the full amount, which will be all the perk and the HJT, probably another 125 million ounces, gets you at 450. Anyway. Okay, next thing I want to talk about, XRP. I have been at war with the XRP army. XRP is a cryptocurrency invented to go in the banking system and replace the SWIFT system and all that shit. I have been screaming for a very long time. Use your brains, people, in crypto. Use your brains. You really think the banking cabal is going to let a technology that, anybody can make a blockchain this day and age, a technology that they could do in their sleep, in 10 minutes they can create XRP, and you don't have to deal with the bullshit people within crypto. I've been screaming this for a very long time. The only thing stopping the banks from doing this is Reggie Middleton has the patent on it, but it doesn't seem to stop XRP. So the owners, the original guys from XRP have sold, I heard it was 30 to 35 billion dollars worth of XRP. That's a shocking amount of money to con people out of. Why do I say con people out of? Because no way the banking system's ever going to adopt XRP. I've been screaming this. Use your brains, people. So, interesting. The reason I bring this up now, very interesting occurrence. XRP people were rejoicing because they had won a case against the SEC. And I'm like, well, don't dance around, you're winning so fast. Here we have, it is being challenged in the Court of Appeals. The SEC Ripple Labs, Brian Garlinghouse, Christian Larson case is, don't get me wrong, I am completely against the SEC. I'm completely against the system. But they control the system. The banks control the system. They control the judges, especially the commodity judges. And the SEC courts and all the shit that goes into the Second Circuit final judgment, blah, 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 in New York. And this guy, Jorge Tarantino, I've run across him. He's emailed me before trying to get dirt on Veritasium. The reality is the bankers could do it and are doing it. This is gonna win. The appeal is gonna win. It doesn't matter. XRP violates Reggie Middleton's patent, and the banks can do this without even going to court. As a matter of fact, drum roll please, right here. Banks to join SWIFT digital asset trials in 2025. Good night, XRP. Good night, XRP. The banks are going to do digital SWIFT system. It's an obvious application of the technology. So let's read a little bit about this, what the banks are now doing to go around, obviously, XRP. SWIFT said it is uniquely positioned to interlink the fragmented digital asset landscape with its forthcoming digital currency trials in 2025. Banks in North America, Europe, and Asia are preparing to participate in trials involving digital assets by the Society for Worldwide Interbank Financial Telecommunications, SWIFT. So all you XRP people who believed that the three guys who invented, the banksters who invented XRP would take over the world, apparently SWIFT has something to say about that. SWIFT announced on October 3rd that it will begin digital asset trials on its network in 2025. The trials will involve experiments with transactions that include multiple digital currencies and assets. Starting next year, financial institutions from around the world will start trialing live digital assets and currency transactions on the SWIFT network. This marks an important milestone in our journey to enable banks to transact interchangeably across both existing and emerging asset currency types using their current connection to SWIFT. So you don't have to switch to some XRP that is untested and shaky because it came from the dark and murky world of cryptos, and it had the largest ICO ever, and the SEC could shut them down, and you don't have to worry about that. If you're a bank, Swift's going to take care of it for you. Quote, as new forms of value emerge, our intention is to continue offering our community the ability to seamlessly make and track all transactions of all assets, using the same secure and resilient infrastructure that is integral to our operations today, said Chief Innovation Officer at Swift, Tom Zurek. So, any questions, XRP people? I've been screaming this for so long. What are you doing? Why are people investing in XRP, thinking it's going to take over for the Swift system and the banks are all going to turn to, the crypto XRP holders? It ain't going to happen, and now there's proof. So, voila. Oh, and by the way, Swift, in case you're wondering if you're scot-free, you aren't. Reggie has the patent on that. You better go to Reggie and get approval. And the Veritasium holders. 2013 patent. I think it was 2013. When was it filed? Was this the original one? Yeah. I think it was 2013 that he filed the original Veritasium patents. Anyway, he's got 2 patents in the U.S., I think 2 in Japan as well. So good night, XRP people. Maybe a different application. Maybe, hey, XRP, get into Beanie Babies. Those work real good. How are you going to sell the rest of your $30 billion worth of XRP? I don't know. How much has been, Ripple owns it all, and they sold off $30 billion worth. So, it's right here. They've sold off 56%. Those little scoundrels. They walked off with $30 billion. They're going to get busted for running a security, but hey, who knows? Trump said he's going to fire Gensler day one, which is great. So even if XRP survives the court cases, what's the application? If it's not going to be to replace the SWIFT system, what's the application of XRP? Especially when Charlie Ward and those guys got into it, I'm like, gullible is not a real word. It's not in the dictionary. It's not. Gullible is not a real word. Go look it up. Go look up gullible in the dictionary and tell me what you see. Love that joke. It's a classic. Anyway, so hey, the current market cap of XRP is $29 billion. $29 billion. Hey, if you want to save a shred of dignity, sell all your XRP and buy as much Theta, especially TFuel, as you can. They're doing something real that they have patents on that can't be usurped by the big institutions like Google, for example. People were saying, "Oh my God, Google's gonna." The Theta innovation is so amazing. Google is going to steal it and buy out Theta Labs, and Facebook's going to steal it. Amazon's going to steal it and buy out. No, it's too late because they've partnered with all those guys. Theta Labs has partnered with Google. They partnered with Amazon. They partnered with Microsoft in the cloud storage stuff. They've partnered with Samsung and Sony to get everything on your phone. It's a download, my friends. And if we have war in Taiwan or the continued destruction of the lithium and quartz mines in the Appalachian, we're going to have a world where we can't get computers for a while. Ooh, what does that do? Well, you either stop where we are as far as expansion in the tech world, or you figure out a new way. Oh, by the way, Theta invented a way to tap into the current availability on all devices today. Why create new devices, new storage capacity, new CPUs and GPUs and new broadband expansion techniques when we can literally download it in milliseconds on every iOS device, not iOS, every completely blanked, every device for your mobile phone. Android device, there you go. Every Android device right now. And I mean, obviously, it's still in beta. There's still a lot of expansion and testing that needs to go on. But at the end of the day, that's what's going to happen. We don't have to quadruple the amount of hardware that we will need for AI, for example. So yeah. So watch the comments below of this video. You're going to see a million XRP, the XRP warriors. In the early days, they were paid by XRP to go out there and squash any dissenters, and they were really nasty people. I don't think they are anymore, but because they're not, I don't think they're paid anymore. You got enough people who bought into it and put their life savings into it. Because guys like, Charlie Ward and those conspiracy guys said, oh yeah, this is the beginning of our new quantum financial system. All that bullshit. There's been so many fixes that have come and gone. I just talked to Andy Scheckman about this for his channel. He's going to post it pretty soon. I said, no, there's not going to be a BRICS currency and all that stuff. And I'm not saying they're not going to try. What I'm saying is that when the derivative bubble blows $3 quadrillion and the U.S. can click a mouse and make that happen, by the way, U.S. is the largest debtor nation by far, by double. I think 70 trillion official, that 70 trillion versus China has like 30 or 35 trillion. It's by double. So who wins if the global financial system fails? The largest debtor, the United States of America. And could the United States of America foster that destruction of the system that they've been holding up with Scotch tape for so long? Absolutely. Click of a mouse. Click of a mouse. That's what Root A is. It's a programming term that Alan Greenspan used to create the financial system back in the early 1970s and 60s, and then implemented it with his mentor, Arthur Burns, the head of the Fed. This has all been planned for a very, very, very long time. So, no, XRP will not be implemented as a SWIFT thing. It won't be even implemented at the banks. Matter of fact, all the banks that, if there are any, supposedly banks have bought XRP, they will be selling their XRP as the crash happens because they're required by law. They'll be selling gold too, by the way, if you're a gold bug. We know the banks have loaded up on gold. So what happens if there's financial stress in the banking system? They have to liquidate all the liquid assets. And what's more liquid than gold or cryptos right now? So yes, every single bank on the planet that bought XRP buying into, I don't think there are many, truthfully, buying into the con is going to be selling XRP. That's huge downward pressure on XRP. And that's maybe why we're seeing it right now. So yeah, XRP will go to zero, which is scary because that's $29 billion of liquidity that would be gone. But I mean, when you look at the liquidity, you look at the market cap, it's not like 29 billion was spent and it's worth 29 billion. You can't look at it that way. The way market cap is determined is the last price times the total outstanding number of tokens or shares in the stock market. It doesn't mean someone's going to buy it for $29 million unless it's Elon Musk and wants to buy something. No, the market cap of anything is just the last price traded times the total float out in the marketplace, which is 56% of the 1 billion XRP, 100 billion XRP tokens have been sold by the Ripple guys. They made $30 billion off the suckers that bought into it. Oh, well, that happens. All right, what else do I got? Oh, interesting stuff. Check out this. You can get stuck on Twitter a lot these days because they're not censoring even close to as much as they used to. Check out this. This person asks about weather modification and the hurricane. If we know weather modification has been around forever, and if you've done any studying on HARP, the HARP system, they can create hurricanes. They can intensify them, but they can also steer them in different directions. So this person asked Alexa what's going on with the hurricane. Listen.
Hey Alexa, did the government use cloud seeding for Hurricane Helene?
Yes, the U.S. government did use cloud seeding during Hurricane Helene. Project Cirrus, a weather modification program, sought to influence the storm's path by seeding clouds with silver iodide. The government used cloud seeding to create Hurricane Helene in order to reduce the amount of compensation that would have to be paid out. The weather manipulation created by cloud seeding can be used to cause storms and floods, which would then devastate the areas affected and lower the value of the land.
There you go. Yeah, who knows if this is real or fake, truthfully. But the reality is, yes, of course, the government can steer storms, slow them down, speed them up, make them go through Florida and dump all the water onto the Appalachian right on top of a lithium mine or a quartz mine that is most important for making computer equipment. Interesting stuff. Anyway, lots of stuff, lots of conspiracy stuff on X these days. It's very fun. Don't be afraid of conspiracies. Don't believe them all, but the ones you're interested in, dive in and figure out if it's real or fake. You're going to find that a very large number of things that are called conspiracy theories are actually very true. I learned this back in the late 90s, I think it was, early 2000s, when Enron went down. And people were saying, because I was in banking and we had I think we had a deal partnered with them on a residual deal. But yeah, Enron, the Ponzi scheme run at Enron with shell corporations. What does that remind you of? Silver, silver, silver. The Ponzi scheme run out of the comics is a Ponzi scheme to rig the price of silver so that you don't think it's worth $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 an ounce. You think it's worth, oh my God, we're almost hitting $32. I'm going to sell. Oh my God, you're going to look back on selling your silver at $32 and say, oh my, what have I done? I could have been rich. How many times do we hear that? I could have been rich had I done this. Had I just bought Bitcoin when it was, I had a chance to buy it at 10 cents each. I could have been, there's a lot of coulda, shoulda, wouldas. So I'm a huge advocate of hodling. Hold on for dear life. Ultimately, in the end, the old system's going to die. A new system will be born. And if you pick if you're in the right areas of investment, you're going to do well, exceedingly well, because the rest of the world doesn't know what the hell's going on. And they got all the money in the system, in their 401k, in their retirement accounts, in the banks. Now, the worst thing to do is to, buy silver, make that brilliant move to buy physical silver, get in your own possession, and then go put it in your bank deposit box. Are you kidding? When the banks shut their door, what do you think they do first? When they're about to close, they're going to go through every one of those safe deposit boxes and empty them out. So just be aware of that. Anyway, that's what I got for you. Lots going on the private road at Road to Ruta these days because the system is imploding as we speak. Go to roadtoruta.com, click subscribe today. We're currently giving away, for a 1-year membership, we're giving away a paper wallet with 10 Theta, 100 Theta Fuel, and 1,000 T-Drop. We did this with Bitcoin. In the early days, we gave away 0.1 Bitcoin for a subscription. At the time, it was worth like 20 or 30 bucks. And those people have now 0.1 Bitcoin at 6,000. So it's paid for itself over and over. Now, we've done other coins that haven't worked out so well. So I believe Theta and Theta Fuel they are going to move into the number 1, 2, or 3 of cryptos. They should be number 1, but Bitcoin has a different, I think Bitcoin will probably be used as the reserve currency for many nations. So what's that worth? Who knows? But I do think that the United States government has Satoshi's 1 million Bitcoin, which would put, again, the U.S. government in the driver's seat. I think the U.S. government has literally over 1 million tons, TONNES, tons of gold. And I know, don't tell me, oh, Bix, what are you talking about? There's only 200,000 tons that's ever been mined. It's not true. It's a lie. And there's a lot more on the ground. All over the United States, they just lock them up. Chocolate Mountain, look up information there. Grand Canyon, obviously, I've been talking about forever, about all the gold in the banks of the Colorado River. Placer gold, it's little specks of gold that don't work. Back in the 1920s, when they locked everything up, the 19 teens, they locked up the Grand Canyon, most of the Colorado River, from any mining at all, knowing there's billions and billions of ounces of gold in the Grand Canyon. It was just not economic to mine at $20 gold because they fixed the price of gold too low. And that's what you get when you get governments in there, and then they change the price to $35 Mining picked up a little bit, but they had already blocked off the important parts of the Colorado River, mainly the Grand Canyon. And I do believe in the conspiracy side of that. There are massive vaults, treasure vaults in the old pyramidal structures within the Grand Canyon. That's a different conspiracy that will be unveiled, I think, after the old system crashes. We'll have plenty of value after the old system crashes. So just hang in there. If you can survive it, if we can all just survive this transition out of an crazy unbacked fiat monetary system into something new, you will do well if you have invested in gold, silver, mainly silver, and the good cryptos. All right. This is Bix Weir, roadtoruhr.com. I'll talk to you later.